Hey, what's going on, guys? And I got a question. What would happen if an AI was to run an NHL team? Would it be any emotions? Would there be any loyalty biases? Or would it be just cold, calculated decisions? And that's exactly what we're going to find out today. In this series, I'm giving ChatGPT complete control of an NHL franchise. Its job is simple. Be the general manager, make every single tough decision. I'm only going to serve as the assistant GM, providing stats, data, and any relevant information to make their decision. But I will have zero say in those decisions. No vetoes, no overrides, no matter how ridiculous or ruthless they may be. And the AI is going to have 10 years to win a Stanley Cup. Today, we're not choosing the team. No, we're letting fate decide that. It's going to be one spin, one franchise, one future. And fate has spoken. It is the Toronto Maple Leafs. One of the most passionate markets in hockey, elite talent, and expectations that never sleep. And Maple Leafs fans, you might want to brace yourselves. Like I said, I'm not going to be the general manager. I'm handing control over to something else. An artificial strategist, calculated, unemotional, ruthless. A system built to optimize one thing: winning when it matters most. Every decision will be based on cap efficiency, roster construction, playoff survivability, no narratives, no loyalty contracts, no comfort moves. And if hard choices need to be made, they will. This is the AI GM Challenge, and the clock starts now. Alright, Leafs Nation, meet your new general manager, Archon. Over this series, we're going to find out one thing. Can a calculated AI strategist build a championship roster in the most pressure-filled market in hockey? Is he going to do a rebuild, a retool, or go all in? Stay tuned to find out. Alright, Archon, as of now, you are the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs in NHL 24, and I will be your assistant general manager. You control all team decisions, including roster construction, trades, draft picks, scouting, coaches, and player development. I have absolutely no authority over your decisions, though you may seek my advice or request any information you deem necessary for informed choices. Your main goal is to win at least one Stanley Cup within 10 years. You need to manage the team strategically, balancing short-term success with long-term sustainability, salary cap constraints, player development, and team chemistry. Explaining your reason for every decision as if reporting to team owners, I will provide you with all and any data, scouting reports, incoming trades, waivers, players, team stats, etc. as requested. You can also ask for any simulated league-wide events to help with your decisions. You are officially in charge of the Maple Leafs and will handle all GM duties as if managing a real NHL team. You can ask for my input, but again, you will make all the final decisions on everything, as I cannot influence or veto your decision. During this 10-year plan, you are creating this team in your vision, from drafting, trading, contracts, building a roster, to bringing a cup to Toronto. Try to keep your responses short, obviously within reason, but still allows you to gather all the info you need. And it's okay to be a real stubborn asshole. Oh, I'm just getting word that Archon is now holding a press conference. Let's tune in and listen to what he has to say.
I'm honored to stand here as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is one of the most passionate, demanding hockey markets in the world, and that responsibility is not lost on me. We are not tearing this down. We are not standing still. We are retooling with purpose. Our goal is simple: to build a team that wins when it matters most, not just in the regular season, not just on paper, but in the moments that define championships. We believe in elite players, Matthews, Nylander, Riley, and we will surround them with a roster built to compete in every situation. That means hard decisions, honest evaluations, and accountability across the organization. We're not here to chase narratives or sell comfort. We're here to win, and we will do what it takes to earn it.
Hey guys, I got a question. Leave your answers in the comment section. Do you think an AI GM is finally able to bring a Stanley Cup to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let me know in the comments below. And he gave us a directive now. He doesn't want us to hire the 3 scouts. He's basically going to focus on the amateur scouts as we see here. OHL, WHL, USA, Liga, Russia, SHL. And he's going to want some in the pro scouts. Basically wants to leave the 3 open slots, begin season assignments for potential in comparison, flag the Q, and the SHL. So now it's draft day. Do you want to approach the draft? He basically says no auto drafts. We're going to draft everything manually. He's the GM, and basically he owns every selection from first to the final 7th round lottery pick. His philosophy is first, second is impact players, top line forwards, top 4 elite skating or hockey IQ traits, no safe low ceiling players. Round 3 to 5 is looking for role players or hidden gems, high IQ, strong skating foundation, two-way centers, mobile D or power forwards with tools. His 6th, 7th is pure lottery, elite physical tools, size, speed, shot. If they bust, we lose nothing. So critical rule scouts inform the board. They do not make the picks. Why? Because everything is based through him. That's his job. He organizes it and he makes it deemed as fit. All right, Archon has deemed our core locked-in franchise pieces as William Nylander and Austin Matthews. John Tavares and Morgan Riley, they're also elite core, and he mentioned that at his press conference when he was introduced. Some strong middle core values, Nick Waugh, Maselli, Carla, they balance out those cap hits. We do have some contract decisions, some UFAs to worry about. He's looking at Max Domi based on production. OEL, again, depth second pair option. Chris Tanev, cheap shutdown if his defense fits our system. Boyd, Stencher, and Lorentz are replaceable. We got to basically look at Nyes. He's got another year or 2 left. Nick Robertson, bridge deal, our contract situation. Nylander jumps to 11.5 and Matthews 13.25. So basically, re-sign some of these players. Tanev if cheap, Domi only if production. Let the other guys walk, and we got to look at Tavares' aging curve. All right, let's take a quick look at our salary cap situation on the main roster. Austin Matthews at 11.64, Tavares at 11, Morgan Riley at 7.5, and Nylander at 6.96. And as we keep going down the list, our salary starts to diminish. Matthew Nye is on a .925. The guy's an 88 already, so he's going to be a good contract for us. Again, our number starts to trickle down right now. We're at .775 with Letary. And then our goaltending, Stolarz and Wool at 1.1 and .75 respectively. So our goaltending looks pretty solid there. Our AHL, we have Yarncroc as our most expensive at a $2.1 million contract. And those numbers start to dwindle down. As you can see, most of these guys are on .775s, all the way to Rafali and even Bezlewski, who's an unsigned prospect. He's at, not even signed basically. We don't even have a contract for him. Our goaltendings are all .775 or 8.45, 8.2, and 8.5 respectively. Our first line is Tavares, Matthews, and Nylander. No surprise there. +3. Second line is 0. +2 in the third. +1. So you can take a look at that if you want to pause it. Our defense is Riley and Tanev at the top pair with a +1, +1 on the second line, and a +1 on the third line. Again, pause if you want to see it more in depth. And our goaltending is looking pretty solid with Joseph Wool and Anthony Stolarz both at 85s. So I'm pretty excited about how this goaltending situation is going to be. But again, Archon got his hands full. And then Tyler Boyd, Benoit, and Maselli are scratched. This is the lineups he's putting out. This is what he wants. So this is what we're going to run with. And then in our AHL, we have a +1 in the line 1 with Nylander, Rouleau, and Shaw. 0, +1, and -1 round up the top 4 lines. Again, this is all by Archon. He's setting this up. Namella and Myers, -1, line 2, -3, and 0. These are who he feels are worth to have the players out there. So I'm going based on what he wants to do. And then Hilby and Akhtemyov are the goaltending situations, both at 74. Archon has provided us a goalie evaluation with Stolarz, the current goalie, and Joseph Wool, the goalie of the future. Both are relatively inexpensive contracts, but he does have an idea. He wants to run a 1A, 1B by favoring Stolarz right now while Wool develops properly. If Stolarz has a strong season, we re-sign him 2 to 3 years. And then if Wool's overall comes significant, we promote him to the starter's crease. Only going to sign Stolarz if his AAV is less than $3 million. Again, having a good goaltending tandem there will help us while we develop Wool. All right, we got a new directive involving some players. Basically, we're going to shop aggressively. Villeneuve, Blandisi, and Pizzetta. We're looking at 5th to 7th round picks. We're packaging future trades. The reason being because they're depth players and blocking spots. We're going to shop Kokona only if a market exists for him. We're not going to force that trade. Picks or a better package. Pesca only if the team needs AHL depth. If not, he's perfectly fine staying in the AHL for us. We're going to place all those players in the trade block. 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to gauge the interest. And we're going to set fair value trade. Obviously, that's common sense. I'm not going to take anything less than that, right, GM? We're basically a proactive asset manager for Cup window team. So his final order for me is basically to shop those players aggressively, find a market, pesca, and report back with any offers received before accepting. Now that we got some housekeeping out the way, we're going to simulate from opening night all the way to Thanksgiving. That's the time we're simulating to get an evaluation on everything that's happening. Starting goalie save percentage is below 895 over 10 game. That's what he wants to report. Top 6 forward is on pace for less than 45. Basically, team record Atlantic Division standings, top 6 scoring totals, goalie stats, Stolarz versus Wolves split, the ranks of the PP and the PK, development of Niemela, any trade offers that we receive. This identifies if we're buy, hold, or strategic retool at the deadline. Finally, we'll proceed with the simulation Thanksgiving. No lineup thinking, no panic trades, no chemistry chasing. We are evaluating the team we intentionally built. That's the directive. That's where we're going to get onto it. All right, we got our first trade of the season. It's San Jose offering us 2 7th-round picks, one this year, one next year for our 4th and Chadwick. However, I did forget to record the San Jose trade offer that they give us, but our GM basically said rejected. We're not doing this. It's a clear asset downgrade. A 4th-round pick has legitimate entry probability value in franchise mode, and basically what we're doing is we're going to somebody with term receiving 2 low probability assets, and that's not what we do. That's poor asset management and not how contenders work. So again, Archon's final decision is decline the trade immediately. Do not trade mid-round picks plus controllable packs for late-round darts. If San Jose wants Chadwick, the conversation starts with a 5th-round pick or a comparable med potential prospect going forward. However, he is open to countering offering it, and basically if they want Chadwick and our 4th, we need to ask for a 3rd-round pick this year or next year. Keeps our contracts balanced, prospects rights for picks, and upgrades our trap capital ahead of instead of diluting our 7th-round noise. If they decline, we terminate. Talks complete. We do not chase. We are a competitive roster. And basically, San Jose trade accepted for a 2024 3rd-round pick. Excellent. That's a clean asset win. We traded a 4th and Chadwick for a 3rd-round pick this year. Strong asset management. We converted a mid-tier prospect with uncertain NHL projection plus a 4th into a high-value 3rd-round pick in the same draft year. Proves our leverage. Again, you guys can stop, pause, take a look at it. So strategic impact, draft capital improved, contract slot flexibility maintained, successful asset tier upgrade from a 4th to a 3rd. No further action required. Continue monitoring trade offers, and we're going to keep on going from there. All right, our phone is ringing again, and St. Louis is on the other line. Basically, they want to do a trade with us. They're offering a 2nd in 2025 for a 2024 5th-round pick and Niemela. And I asked him what he says. He says, nah, we ain't doing it. Decline immediately. Basically, what we're giving up is a top prospect and a 5th for a 2nd. This is not even close to fair value. You're being asked to trade a legitimate top 4 defensive prospect developing in our AHL for a future pick that isn't certain attached to it. Again, he's valuable. Yes, 2nd pick, but Niem is also past the lottery phase. He's got a 72 overall, top 4 potential. This is more important to keep him instead of going out there and getting a 2nd-round pick. This is a poor asset conversion for a contending team with aspirations to become a contender for the Cup. Here we are again with another phone call. This time New York Islanders are on the line and they're looking to trade. They want to give us Tony DeAngelo plus their 7th-round pick in 2025 for a 2024 3rd-round pick, 2024 5th-round pick, and Grelou, our top 9 mid-potential with 10 AHL points, center depth. Archon's like, nope, hang up, decline. That's it. We're not doing it. Basically, we're not going to be playing future assets for a realistic redundancy on a short-term deal. We would only consider if they retain salary or the price drops to a 5th-round pick and a fringe prospect. Other than that, we're going to hold the pick. We're not doing it. This is ruthless. This is perfect. No fluff. We're rejecting the trade. We're preserving assets. And that's it. All right, we reached our first checkpoint, Thanksgiving. And basically, Toronto Maple Leafs with 2 games in hand. They're trailing the Sabres and the Panthers in the division with a 9-5-3 record for 21 points. They've scored 54 goals, popping in at 3.18 goals per game. They've also allowed 50 goals. That's 2.94 goals allowed per game. Their power play is clicking at a 30.2%. 13 power play goals on 43 attempts. That is pretty fantastic. Their PK is also first in the league, killing everything at 89.8%. So that's pretty good as well. So top power play and top penalty kill for the Toronto Maple Leafs. As we look at the stats from our players, Austin Matthews is carrying the load with 21 points, 14 goals, 7 assists, followed by Nylander, 7 goals, 12 assists for 19 points. John Tavares, 5 goals, 9 assists for 14. Matthew Nyes at 6-5 for 11. McMahon, Maselli, Joshua, Lawrence, Domi. You guys can pause it if you want to take a look at those numbers. But Domi is 1-4-5 for 5 points and -5. And as we round out all the forwards, as you can see, Tyler Boyd with 9 games played, 1-1 for 2. Robertson, 1-1 for 2 points. Yarncroc, 1-2 for 3. So our bottom 6 is not looking that good. And on the back end, Morgan Riley leading the way. 3 goals, 11 assists for 14, followed by McCabe with 8. OEL with 5, Carlo 3, Stetcher and Tanev with 1 point each. And let's take a look at our goalies. Joseph Wool carrying the load of 15 games played, 8-4-3, 919 save percentage of 277 goals allowed. And Stolarz playing in 2 games, 1-1, 902, 339. Joseph Wool has taken the crease and is running with it. All right, here's our team audit that we've got at Thanksgiving. So we're considered a contender now by Archon. Cup window is 1 to 4 years. Legit playoff contender with special teams and strong structural play. We're first in PP and PK, 10th in goals for. Goals allowed, we're 10th in the NHL. Elite special teams are driving 5-on-5 is good. However, we do have some concerns. Tavares' aging curve. Some structural defensive systems are in place. You guys can also pause, take a look, and see exactly what Archon basically is telling us what to do. Our pipeline is pretty stocked. We have a couple of guys that are potentially future for this team, but we do have too many AHL ceilings blocking development. Our caps are at 50-50, so Tavares, obviously, we got to look at that, the long-term risk. Some coaching, we got to focus on getting defensive associates for the future, for structure. Contract handling of Lawton injury. We did have an injury, but we turned that off, so that's taken care of. Aging 2C timeline, we got to find someone to succeed Tavares. Limited high-end defensive prospect depth. Depth scoring still unproven in playoff pressure. 1 to 2 years, we're kind of difficult to hold. 3 to 4 is peak opportunity, but 5 is basically the other ones coming in. So we have a couple of directives from him, what he wants us to do, and look for a 2C. And basically, this roster is good enough to contend, but not yet to go on a deep playoff run without continued defensive structure, above average goaltending, and unrivaled depth. All right, we got a new directive from Archon. Basically, we're just going to stay quiet now until the trade deadline. We're not trading anything unless we get some trades. We're going to stay the course. We're stable, we're competitive, and that's pretty much it. So we did get 5 trades for Villeneuve, and basically the most 2 potential ones we have are Jarvente and Perrault. Nieta, Akari, and Hamanic, he does not want to deal with them because they're old and they bring nothing to the table. So he's actually looking at Jarvente and Perrault, both from Edmonton. They're both young forward potentials. So he's going to want to go and accept the Edmonton trade with Parvente. Basically, we're converting a replaceable defensive prospect, Villeneuve, into a 21-year-old power forward, top 9 medium potential, better physical tools, and playoff style projection. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and accept that trade with Edmonton. Archon also wanted a sample on Tyler Boyd. Basically, he played 19 games with 6 goals, 3 assists for 9 points, and a +1. So he wanted to see how he would actually do. That was one of his directives, so that's what we're going to provide him with that. He also wanted to see Joseph Wool. He has 11-4-3, 919, and a 275, while Stolarz is a 5-2-2 with a 922 and a 250 save percentage. And once that comes through, our 10-game evaluation complete. These are basically his verdict on both the goaltending situation between Stolarz and Joseph Wool. And we're going to take a look at that. Like I said, you guys can also pause it, take a look at it. There's Tyler Boyd up there. So this is an exact outcome we expect from the 1A, 1B model. Neither is elite Vezina level, but both are delivering playoff performance behind a strong defensive structure. So the final decision, we're going to keep Boyd on line 2. Robertson remains unscratched. Continue Stolarz Wool split, and basically going to continue simming from there on out. All right, so General Manager Archon has given us a new organizational focus from now until the trade deadline. We're going to basically monitor Domi's production, the save percentage of our goalies, and see if Boyd has a regression. We stay patient. Contenders win by timing their moves and not rushing them. We also got a trade coming in from Boston. They're offering Zadorov and their 5th-round pick in 2025 for Namella, and our 3rd-round pick this year from Tampa Bay. Archon basically telling us to decline immediately. We're not giving away a 2023 pick and Namella for Zadorov and a 5th-round pick. Namella is a cost control, developing top 4, while Zadorov is older, more expensive. Exact potential. He does fit, but again, not cap wise, not good. So we're not going to trade a 3rd and a 5th for negative value. Obviously, Boston's going to win this trade. It's not acceptable asset conversion. We don't move a top 4 medium protection, and we're just going to decline that immediately. All right, folks, so as we push to the trade deadline, our GM Archon is basically sweating through his suit. He's got 3 paths. Contender path is a top 5 wagon. We add playoff muscle, a top 4 right D, or a bottom 6 wrecking ball who hits everything, including the Zamboni. If we do the stable path, we're good, so we make a hockey trade just to balance those vibes. Regression path, we're panic responsibly. Small safe adds, asset protected like Grandma's China. Rules, no auto accepts, no line tinkering unless someone completely explodes. Stop for injuries, we have injuries off. Goalie meltdown, scoring droughts, or spicy man D offers. Sent to the deadline, Be a buyer, aggressive buyer, or stand pat. That's our objectives. Seattle's offering us their 4th round pick and Justin Schultz for Namella and Lazuski. Archon, this offer is beneath our future. Reject without hesitation. Namella is basically a top 4 defenseman, cost control, and a pillar of our future. Justin Schultz is just a 1-year rental and offers us no value after this. And Lazuski remains a controllable top 9 depth asset. If we take this trade, we're basically sacrificing a young defenseman, short-term veteran that we do not need. We're also causing a win 2 to 3 years. Schultz is just not that. Basically, we're just going to hard decline it. We protect Namella unless the return is a top pair defenseman. We're getting a trade offer from Chicago. They're offering their 2nd round pick that belongs to the Kings in 2024 for our 5th and 6th of 2025, along with Hilby, one of the goalies in our systems. And Archon base says accept this trade. They're basically paying a premium value for assets we can afford to lose. We're basically moving a 5th and 6th in Hildeby for a 2024 2nd round pick with real NHL hit probability. This basically supports our long-term plans. We identify the need for a future top 6 center after Tavares. That 2nd pick either becomes a legitimate prospect swing or a valuable trade ammunition at a later date. We have enough depth, goalie intact, contract slots stay balanced, and we convert low probability picks into a premium draft asset. Final verdict to ownership, we are strengthening the future without weakening the present. Accept the trade. Right, and Pittsburgh's offering us Ryan Graves with 6 years left and Matt Dumba 1 year left for Namella and 2 fifths of Calgary and Vancouver this year's draft pick. Archon basically said, heck no, we're not taking this trade. This introduces long-term risk that outweigh any short-term games, and it's true. Pittsburgh's trying to unload Ryan Graves' 6-year contract. It's an anchor. It's not going to age well. Matt Dumba on a 1 year. Basically, we're surrounding a top 4 21-year-old right shot defenseman with potential. And by taking Graves' 6 years contract, we're locking ourselves into cap hell. And, that's not what we need. Long-term commitment to non-elite defenders creates structural risks in years 3 to 6 when roster agility becomes important. Dumba provides short-term value as a rental, but other than that, he is not really helping us. We're giving up a cost control from a positional standpoint. Right shot, young top 4 defenseman scarce and foundation for sustained contention. Namella fits our long-term defensive pipeline. Our cup window is focused on the present and the next few seasons, not 6 years down the road. This trade misaligns timeline and introduces unnecessary financial rigidity. We're going to decline that offer and we're going to hang up on him. All right, we reached the day before the trade deadline. Nylander leading the way with 77 points with 25-52. Matthews 40-33 for 73. Morgan Riley, our best defenseman, 745 and 52. Again, you guys can also stop this to take a look at all the stats if you really want to get down into it. Chris Tanev and Brendan Carlo are 2 of the defensemen, basically 11 and 12 points, but that's not expected to be generating offense. Then our goalies, Joseph Full with 21 wins, 12-6, 1 shutout, 915 and a 274. Stolarz 14-9-2, a 902 and a 309 save percentage. We're going to look at now our stats for our team. We have 78 points, 1 game in hand on Florida Panthers with 35-20-8 record. We have a 3.48 goals per game, so that's very good numbers for us. We're giving up 2.95. Our PK is at 24.2. I'm sorry, our power play is at 24.2, and our PK is at 88.8%. Those are all very good numbers. GM Archon has provided us a team snapshot at the TDL right now. Basically, he's looking at goals for, 3rd in the NHL, goals against is 9th. Our power play is clicking and for 3rd in the league. Penalty kill is just good stuff right there at 2nd. Elite stuff. Basically saying we're not a fringe team. This is legit Stanley Cup contender. We don't sell. We don't retool. We don't mortgage the future. We buy, but surgical ones. Our strengths are top-tier offense, elite special team, stable goaltending. We have a killer position. This squad wins series now. But he does see a weakness, and it's basically our goals against. They're good, but not dominant. A playoff exposes that. Basically, one bad night, and it's a series swing. Boom. So we need a hard minute shutdown defense. That's it. Not goalies, not scores. Defense stabilization. So we're going to do a controlled trades. All right, so GM Archon has given us a new directive for the TDL. He wants us to find a top 4 D and or elite PK forward and report back to him. So after providing him all available offers, he's looking at Mario Ferraro. His reasoning for accepting this top 4 defensive player is basically to shut down his H term, his physical, and defensive play for the playoffs. While I think he's a good player, I'm just not sure if he's playoff material. What do you guys think? As yet hasn't played any playoff games, but he wants us to accept immediately. I also brought to his attention a 19-year-old prospect from Arizona, Dmitry Shimishnov. He wants us to accept this trade because we're basically giving up a 2nd, 7th in 2024 plus Tyberg. This is basically a solid move in my opinion. As you know, his reasoning is a top 4 shutdown monster in the future with cost control, and he's going to be a potential cornerstone of this defense. All right, so Archon also had me look for a special type of player for the bottom 6. Someone who's a PK specialist, shutdown center, and that's what I did. I looked around the league. I found someone who I think fits this team's mold based in Archon's vision, and that's Kevin Stemlin. He's playing right now on the Arizona Coyotes / Utah Mammoth, and the reason why I brought this to his attention is He's big. He brings PK experience. He's a Stanley Cup champion. He's a shutdown center. He's a playoff warrior. And he's a physical presence out there. And that's what we need. We need physicality for the playoffs. And the asking price, it's super cheap. I think this is a great deal. It's a fifth and Voigt for someone with physicality. And I love this trade. It's a great addition to the locker room. Archon likes it too, and he accepts this trade. He also made a few minor moves. Basically, these are all one-for-ones. Nothing spectacular comes out of this. These are all AHL guys. We have Merman's going to Colorado for Badarkov. We have Philip Myers going to Edmonton for Quinn Hudson. And we have Gerlou going to St. Louis for Dean. We moved the contracts. We got other players with term. We added to our AHL depth. So this is a great addition, I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Looking at our stats through the regular season, the Maple Leafs are the Atlantic Division champions with 104 points. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Wild are your President's Trophy, popping in 118 points. Toronto Maple Leafs are racking 3.41 goals per game. They're also giving up 3.02 goals per game. Their power play efficiency is 23.2%, and their penalty killing is 86.6%. General Archon has provided an audit. 45, 25, and 10 record for 104. Atlantic Division champions, 4th overall in the league. Top 5 scoring, top 10 defense. Power play and penalty kill are 3rd in the NHL on both sides. Special teams is one of the biggest weapons we have. We have an elite line structure. First line is scoring. Second line is a breakout unit, heavy forecheck in line 3, and reliable energy. The defense is doing excellent. We also have Badarkov, who hit 65 hits in 17 games after arriving from Colorado. So those are good numbers. We're going to take a quick look at our player stats. Nylander 96, Matthews 92, Tavares 90, Riley 66, Nyes 59. Even the middle 6 guys were producing 49, 40 respectively. Ferraro even 14 points. But you guys can pause it and take a look at all the stats. Our goalies are also popping 28, 14, and 7, 3. Shutouts 913, 275 for Wolf. Stolars 19, 12, and 3. 1 shutout, 900, and a 320 save percent. So Mario Ferraro came over from San Jose. In 19 games played, 0 goals, 2 assists, 2 points, and a -6. Meanwhile, Kevin Stenley, 19 games played, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points, -1, and 1 shorthanded goal. Kevin Stenley has been producing for this team. He's been the shutdown PK specialist that we needed. And with that's where we stand at the end of year 1 under GM Archon. The playoffs just around the corner, and Toronto hasn't won a cup since 1967. Can the team Archon assembled change that in year 1? Or is it the same old heartbreak for Leafs Nation? We'll find out in episode number 2. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and we'll see you in the playoffs.